Monks and tradition, monks and heritage.
Abuna, this is something which is so important because of people like coming from no tradition, people born into the modern world like me and many young people today. We don't know what came before us. We don't know anything. So let us discuss what we have received, what have we got to keep. Because for me, I come to this Coptic church and to this Coptic monasticism. What heritage I will find? What can I find?
But what does mean heritage? What the meaning of the word heritage?
Well, what do you understand, Abuna? What do you understand by it?
For me, heritage is the past.
The past.
Without past, I think we cannot live. And heritage is not only the recent past, but past from the beginning. Because God working with the past, was working with the past, creating something. I think God didn't create only Adam. Yeah, but He still continue to create something which helps the humanity.
You see, Abuna, a man without a memory, if you stop a man in the street and you ask him, who are you? He will not tell you, my name is so-and-so. But no, I am son of so-and-so. My family came from this place, and I know that my grandfather was living in this place. He doesn't see himself as one only. In the West, people do. In the West, people have lost touch with their past. So each person sees himself as one only. I am the present and the past and the future. Everything is in me only. What we find in the Christian life, in Orthodoxy, and certainly here in Egypt, we find that the Coptic people are not just now. They have this long tradition, and the memory of the people is, their identity and their memory is the same. You see? So this is why, if God is creating something now, as you said, but He doesn't create something only now, because the people, anybody who is created, any feature of life which is brought up into being, it belongs to the long history.
It's from the same structure.
From the same past, yeah.
Which means, I think God, He is trying to build something. Started from the beginning, from Adam. I'm still working to add something to the structure. And the example which you gave it now, if you ask somebody, who are you, from where? Imagine if he is from a noble family. He will be proud of himself. I am from that family. And okay, this is what we have to think about. What is the roots of the Copts? Who are our grandfathers? From which family we are? We are from a very, very rich church. We are very rich people, carrying the very important heritage and culture in the world.
I think we should be careful about distinguishing again between what we have inherited as a church and what we inherit as monks, because I don't think they are the same thing. I think that the Coptic heritage has the places, Alexandria, and the whole history of Alexandria, the history of the church as it was born in Alexandria and grew up in Alexandria. This is a big part of heritage. But this is not our concern as monks. The another part of the heritage is the desert, the monasteries. This is our heritage. So I think that if the monks start to see heritage in the complete sense, which everything that the Coptic Church has inherited, they will start to spread themselves too far, too wide. We should concentrate on the heritage which, from St. Anthony's time and St. Pachomius' time, which is passed down to us.
But this is the monastic heritage.
Monastic heritage.
Yes, monastic heritage.
This is what I'm...
But monastic heritage, you cannot separate it from the church heritage.
Why?
Why? Because if we come back to the heritage, how it was built, the heritage, it was built by martyrs, by apostles, by saints, by early fathers. You know, if we come back to the early fathers, there is no monasticism. How we can separate, for example, Saint Athanasius, the protector of the orthodoxy world, from the monasticism? We cannot. There is something gathered them together. Athanasius as the Pope, Athanasius as a disciple of Saint Antony, you know, which means heritage. It's the church as all, with the monasticism, with the hierarchy of the church, with the language of the church, the songs, the music of the church, the early fathers, the writings, the liturgies. I mean, it's a lot of heritage, and we cannot separate it, because who is preserving the heritage? The church or the monks? And if we say the church, who is preserving the heritage in the church? And if we say the monks, what the monks do to preserve the heritage? And we will come to the question, why when they ordained a new priest, they sent him to a monastery for 40 days. Why? Just to take from the heritage, which is preserved there in the monasteries with the monks, to bring it back to the church.
But the heritage which we have inherited as Copts, as Orthodox Copts, this is, as you said very well, wide, and it has many elements of life put together. Even Coptic clothes, even the tapestry, the weaving of the materials, and the painting, and okay, there's a huge cultural collection of things. So when you have people who are Coptic laymen and women who are working in any field, they find so many stages of history in the Coptic heritage. Yes, the music, yes, the art, yes, the textiles and the clothing and the artifacts, the potteries, all of this. Everybody in the specialist field should be consulted, so that we preserve things in the way that archaeology and science gives us wisdom to do it. Then you are talking about the heritage of the spirit, you know. So there is a heritage of, for example, in the Psalmodiya, the heritage of the songs. Okay, somebody is interested in it from the musical point of view. But what about the words of the Theotokia? Yani we have a heritage of praise for Saint Mary, which we must preserve this, because if we let it go, and people say, oh, this is not, this is story of flowers and the stick of Aaron, and we don't need this. No, this is all part of the Coptic awareness of the presence of Theotokos in our life. So there is a scientific area, a scientific basis for approaching the heritage, and there is the spiritual way of approaching the heritage.
Yes, because the heritage is not the heritage itself. For example, when you mentioned Theotokia, it's not the Theotokia itself, but what Theotokia is carrying in. It's carrying the theology of the church, carrying the belief of the church, the dogma of the church, carrying the spirit of the church, carrying the music of the church. There's only one item, Theotokia, you know. And we have to preserve it in the original way, which means, okay, how the early fathers established or created the Theotokia. They created with a very good and very strong belief and very good spirit, with language. If we change the language, I think we will lose something, especially for the monks. Okay, now in Europe they pray Theotokia in English, for example, but cannot give the same effect of the Coptic, because the Coptic language is the original language of the Theotokia, and it's musical language. And okay, when we serve the people, we have to translate the language. But for monks, do they need to translate the language? For example, when the monks, they pray the Theotokia in Arabic, for example, there is no meaning for that. And we are losing the heritage. If we're losing the origin of the Theotokia in Coptic language, Coptic music, which means we are losing part of the heritage. Very important. Then we will come to the stage which we will lose our identity as a Copts.